Thanks for joining us, America. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. I'm talking to Bo in Orlando. He's a custom home builder. After the last downturn, he decided to hoard cash, and he did a good job of it. He's got $415,000 sitting in cash. Is that a fair summary of what you told me so far, sir?
Yes, sir, it is.
Well done.
And I need a little kick in the pants to move this one way or the other because it's not doing anybody any good where it's at.
Yeah, it's costing you about $40,000 a year not having it in something, and that's pretty substantial. So,
yeah,
probably needs to be in something. The trick is, what you want to do with it. What's your long-term plan for that money?
Well, I grew up in a family. I've been very blessed to have essentially the same principles you've taught. You're remarkable. You do such a good service for those out there, and I've really been able to keep my whole lifestyle out of debt. I've got 2 young children, a wonderful wife who is ingrained in our company as well,
cool.
And knowing how cash got me through the difficult times, I'm almost paralyzed to pay off the rest of my debt in my personal house because now I know I'm depleting those funds, and then, of course, taking the rest of those funds and putting them into some kind of investment. I do have other investments, but again, going through such a horrible time, it's almost made me paralyzed to do anything.
Well, I mean, you're risk averse because of it. I don't blame you. So, how much do you owe on your home?
$93,000.
Okay, that's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, that still leaves you $300,000. You write that check today. Yeah, I'll be done with that. Okay. And that's your last debt?
That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah,
no car payments. I'm kind of stuck in baby step 7.
Yeah,
I can't move.
Not anymore. By the end of the day, you're debt-free. Just write that check. $93,000 out of $415,000. I mean, you're still sitting there with $300 and something thousand. And if you don't like being debt-free, you can go get you a mortgage later. Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna go, oh, I wish I'd done that years ago. Okay, because a switch is gonna flip inside of you that you're gonna go, wow, that feels good. Okay, now then, what to do with that other $300,000? So, what is your household income? What do you guys make a year? Net profit, taxable income.
Well, that's kind of the problem. It's very cyclical. Not cyclical. It just goes very drastic one way or the other.
What do you think? What do you think?
Will be approximately $200,000 this year. The year afterwards might be $100,000.
Okay.
And so,
all right. So let's say that just I want a fund of cash that I'm not going to make any money on. It's just there to make me feel good about cyclical. Right?
Yes.
How much does that fund need to be? $100,000?
That's what I was thinking. Exactly that number.
Okay. That's pretty rich for an emergency fund, but you're in a very volatile business. Agreed. And you've been stung a couple times. And so what you're saying is that the money I would have made on that $100,000, I'm willing to give up just to have it sitting there to make me feel good.
Correct.
I'm going to give up approximately $10,000 a year because it's just going to sit there. That's okay, by the way. That's okay. I don't dislike that plan at all. And so let's set $100. Let's pay off the house. Let's set $100 aside for that. So now we still got $200 left. What are we going to do with that?
Well, that's where here we are. The market's done so great. We're seeing a lot of swings, and I've kind of gotten to this mental state of I don't want to give any of it back. So would I go into something that's more of a growth stock mutual fund or more of a conservative mindset? Still making money, but still kind of there. Or am I just being too conservative?
You know what I think you would do? I think you go buy some dirt.
I'd love to do that.
Let's go buy you some dirt.
My entrepreneurial spirit is just bubbling inside right now. That's kind of what I want to do, but I just don't want to put my family at risk because of my.
They're not. You're 100% debt free. You have $100,000 in the bank. And you make $200 a year or $100 a year. You're all right.
Oh, why is it so difficult to get over this hurdle?
No, it's not. It's just
why.
Well, because you've been burnt. I mean, and that's human nature. You would be an unwise, rash, immature person if you weren't having these feelings with the volatility you've been through in the business.
Yeah, it's tough.
If you crash your car into the wall, the next time you get in the car to drive it, it's you're worried about hitting the wall, so it's just normal. Yeah. But here's the thing. If you go buy some paid-for dirt, no mortgages, just go buy you a piece of dirt somewhere that maybe someday you put some houses on, or maybe you just want to own some dirt to hold the world together, or maybe you buy a little rental house for $200,000 or something in the Orlando market, and it makes you a little money. That's okay. But listen, you're going to do better because of your knowledge of real estate and building. You're going to do better in real estate than you are in emotionally and financially, both. You're going to do better there than you are playing in mutual funds.
Well, that's what my financial advisor kind of wants to get that $200,000, and I try to be as respectful as possible in that I believe in his profession, I trust in what he's doing, but I feel like through my experience and what I have done over the course of my 44 years, I can make it grow quicker, but it does come with a lot more risk.
No, it doesn't come with a lot more risk because you're going to pay cash for whatever you do, and you're not going to be in a hurry. And we're going to whatever we spend this $200,000 on, it's not $200 down payment. We're going to buy something and own it, and you will make more on that because you know what you're doing in that world. Real estate is a much more from an economics class. If you took an econ class, there's a thing called a perfect market or an imperfect market. The more perfect the market, the more everyone has access to it, and the less deals there are. Real estate is a very imperfect market, because meaning that there are deals, and you guys like you and me that know the real estate world. Man, I bought so much stuff. My net worth tripled in 2008. Because I was buying real estate. I mean, I'm buying $4 million buildings for $1 million.
Yeah.
But not everybody knows how to do that. But I grew up in that business, and so man, it was kicking. It was a fun time, and you can do the same thing.
Being asset heavy.
Yes.
I don't want to say cash poor, but just
you're not cash poor.
Yeah.
You're not cash poor.
That's what I'm having a problem getting over, is that thought process. I'm just so used to seeing such a big amount in my bank account, and I know for some of the listeners, they might be saying,
well, but if 100 is not enough, raise the 100. I don't care.
Yeah.
But establish a number that beyond that, you quit wasting the money and you start investing it.
Yes, sir.
Give yourself some kind of an emotional baseline where you say, if it's not 100, it's 150. I don't care if it's 200. 200 sounds rich to me, but I think 100's plenty, personally, just talking to you. But establish that baseline, and then past that, say, I'm going to put the next batch into real estate, and I may do the next batch into mutual funds.
Yeah.
Next time you get your hands on 100, you may call your advisor and drop that into mutuals. I don't care. I like having a mix of the two, personally. Some people don't like real estate. Some people don't like mutual funds. That's okay. You can do any of those you want to do. I'm fine all the way around, but that's the idea. You just got to give yourself some checks and balances with some guidelines that you self-establish. You and your wife talk about it. You pray through it. You go, okay, this is how much I need to feel good. And past that, I'm going to force myself to invest it, because past that, I'm just being chicken. And there's a difference between being risk-averse and being chicken. You did so good, man. Well done.